welcome back to our channel. I'm Taslim.
And I'm Tira. This is T&T Cooking, a beginner's guide to Indian and Pakistani cuisine.
Today we are making something really special, Tira.
Okay, what are we making?
We're making naan.
I've never made naan because I've always felt like it has to be so tricky because I've heard that.
It's not. I came up with a quick and delicious recipe and I made this last week and my kids loved it. They love naan. It's homemade naan is to die for.
Awesome.
So I will show you two ways of cooking it depending on your stove, and I'm gonna make it as simple as possible.
Great.
So let's do it. So first thing we're gonna do is make yeast. Okay, to make yeast you have to have some warm tap water, the warmest it can be.
Okay.
So we're gonna add that in. Tira, you make pizza dough all the time, I know that.
I do. So does it matter how much water is in here or just?
No, it's just in a little bit of water. I had maybe 1/3 cup.
Okay.
And to that we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Don't you make yeast for pizza dough?
Yes, this is very similar. I do pizza dough and cinnamon rolls quite often, and this is a very similar start.
Delicious cinnamon rolls. Delicious. My daughter dies for them. So the way I make my yeast is I dissolve the sugar completely before I add the yeast. And this is 1 packet of yeast. Okay, that looks good. To that we'll add the 1 packet of yeast.
Okay, and if you have a bigger container of yeast, this is about a tablespoon?
Yes, this is about a tablespoon. I like to stir it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're gonna put this in a warm place and let it rise until it gets bubbly and frothy on top. What is it like? How long do you do that? 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, depends on how quick your yeast is.
Okay, so first we have to make the dough for the naan. I have here 3 cups of all-purpose flour.
Okay.
To that we're gonna add 1.5 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And this is 1 tablespoon oil.
All right.
This is 3 tablespoons of yogurt.
And we typically use what kind of yogurt?
I have Greek yogurt. I always like Greek yogurt, but you can use whatever yogurt you want. Yogurt will make the naan very soft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll just mix that around and then we'll go get the yeast and make this dough. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and look at that. This is how you know when your yeast is ready. It's very bubbly and frothy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tara, we'll dump that in.
Okay. All that air is probably going to help our naan rise.
Yes, and I'm going to use the same container to get more warm water.
Okay.
Okay, remember, always use warm water for your dough, not cold.
Mm-hmm.
The water amount will depend on your dough and where you live. You just need to have dough maybe similar to like a pizza dough.
So humidity does play a large factor in that.
Yes.
With the doughs I make, so I'm assuming with this one too. So yeah, this is going to be more by look and feel than precise measurements. So once we're about this stage, can I use my hands?
Yes, and you can add water and make this dough. It's all you, Tira.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't want the dough too soft or too hard.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think we need a little more. Not a lot, yeah, maybe a spoonful. Yeah. So how firm do you want this dough? Because that's still pretty firm.
A little bit softer.
Okay.
So I'll add like a tablespoon of more water.
Okay.
I can tell that you're used to this.
That I know how to knead?
Yes.
Yes.
From cinnamon roll and pizza doughs.
Yes. We do bread sometimes too. I went through a phase where I made all our bread. Yeah.
I make homemade bread too. It's so good.
It is so good. It takes some time,
Mm-hmm.
and especially if you got a little angst to work out, it's a good thing to work on. Take it out on your dough. So, what do you think of that feel?
That still looks good.
Okay.
All right.
Do we make it into a ball?
Yeah, and then we're gonna do is spray the bottom of this pan with some oil. Put it in, and we're gonna spray the top.
Okay.
And we're gonna let this rise for 1 hour. So we will see you in 1 hour.
Awesome.
Oh, we're gonna cover it first. And
Yep.
cover it, and I usually put it in my oven for 1 hour.
Yep, in a warm place.
See you in an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, and look at that.
Beautiful. It's more than about doubled in size.
Okay, so we're gonna punch this down, and we will start rolling balls and rolling our naan. Sometimes I use oil on my hands to roll the dough so it doesn't stick. And I usually, this is my special oil container. And I always put a little bit of oil on my hand
Okay.
so it doesn't stick. Okay, so we will make some balls. I think this is a good size.
Okay.
That looks good. So let's start with that, and then we'll see if we need to make them smaller or bigger. So what we're gonna do, Tara, is I will make one, and then you will make one.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's do this. So I use this to make my roti. I don't know, what is it called?
I don't know what it's called. Special roti maker.
There you go. I actually got this from India, but I googled it and they do sell this on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Just type in roti maker, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But this is how I use to make my roti. So I will show you how I make my naan. Here's my dough. What I do is that make a nice big round ball, and then I dip it in dry flour so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
And remember, any shape is fine. Any shape. You're just gonna eat it. So I roll it out.
Okay guys, I want you to watch, and I'll show you the above camera. The dough is rotating in a circle, and I have never been able to do that myself, and it is like a testament to Tasling's time and talent that she spent doing this.
It's okay if yours doesn't rotate. T&T Cooking is all about learning and teaching, and there's no judgment. We're here to teach you. Doesn't have to be perfect.
You'll watch me do it, and mine probably won't rotate.
Remember, if you can't do this, it's okay. I've been making roti since I was 13, so this is many years of practice. I'm old. Okay, so this one's gonna be butter naan. We're gonna make a few different flavors.
Okay.
So this is done. Okay, so I'm gonna show you 2 ways of cooking this.
Okay.
First, we'll cook it on our hot plate like we normally cook. So let's do that one first. Okay, so the first way we're gonna cook it is a normal way on a hot plate. So this has been heating for a while. And what I like to do is I just dust off any excess flour. The excess flour sometimes makes the naan hard and crusty, and we don't want that. We want it nice and soft. So we're just gonna cook this.
And so if you have an electric stove, this is probably the method you want to use.
Yes. We will flip it once it starts bubbling. Okay, we can flip this now.
That is beautiful. Look at the toasting around there. So you need your pan to be really hot and then be patient.
Yeah. Other trick I do too is I like to press on the edges
Okay.
so the edges can cook. So what we'll do now, Tira, is this is gonna be the butter naan. So we'll just butter it.
Okay.
You can butter right on top. Flip it, go to the other side, and then we're ready.
Flip it. Sizzle.
That looks really good.
It does. It looks amazing. Do we need to flip it or just done?
Flip it. I like a little sizzle.
Little sizzles here. Oh, look at the puff.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So that's one way of cooking it. Now we will do another way.
Okay.